It's time for a first panel discussion, in fact the much awaited panel discussion of the day, where our speakers and industry experts will enlighten the audiences today with the future of technology and its role in driving customer. Without further ado, let's dive into the panel discussion. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sarma. It's an absolute pleasure to be amongst the distinguished dignitaries. My heartfelt thanks to Whitepage International for providing this virtual platform and giving me the opportunity to moderate this panel on the most researched and talked about topic, the role of technology in shaping the future of customer experience and how to create a great experience during and after the crisis. I'm honored to be in the driver's seat for this panel of top industry minds who represent some of the best talks, consulting, and mentoring assignments. Each one, of, each one has multiple accolades for their pioneering journey, or maybe for the people or organizations they have worked with. In the new world of customer experience, which is personalized, contextualized, and dynamic, the chief customer officers are partnering with the technology organization to bring control of the human experience back in-house with a fresh arsenal of experience-focused marketing tools. Kicking off a multi-year omni-channel strategy is not the first and the foremost priority now. Most companies are acutely looking for some customized, easy to implement, quick fixes, tactics to help fill the gap left by strongly reduced in-person engagements. Imagine a world in which a brand knows who you are, what you want, and can deliver the product, service, or experience that best suits your needs seamlessly in a real time across physical or digital channels. Thanks to the technology, this world has arrived. While the titles of the customer experience have already been introduced, I think we are all set to start the discussion. My first question is to you, Pramod. So customer engagement has been affected a lot during the crisis. What kind of friction do you see customers facing during the pandemic that's likely to continue when it's over? And what should the businesses do to avoid that friction?
Hi, Harsha. Good morning, and good morning to all the panel members over here. Pleasure to be here, part of this esteemed panel over here. Thanks a lot. Questions. You have a large question over here, talking about customer engagement, talking about the friction. I would say that from the experience which we have seen, um, customer engagement earlier for all of us, for all industries today, whether IT or any other industry, was always the physical mode of communication. That you meet people, you meet them, you greet them, you have a cup of coffee, you sit down, and then you start discussing about your business and your sales or your marketing or anything else. So I think customer engagement across verticals, across industries have taken a complete transformation over here, a complete 360 degrees transformation. Uh, each vertical and each departments have to understand, adopt, adapt to the new way of, first of all, either seeing somebody online or not able to see somebody online at all and having conversations. So I think across all the functions in any vertical, sales function is the most critical function where you are still required to meet somebody, meet a customer, explain them, give a presentation, uh, look at the body language of the customer, show your body language also over there, and understand the atmosphere, what is going on with the customer premises, and that engagement, I think, across other customer service, administration, finance, across is fine. But sales, something is a very important function which couldn't get replaced immediately. It was difficult, but other departments is fine. But this is something was to be adapted over here. I think that is something engagement, I would say, across verticals, across industries today. Example, somebody in IT industry today. We are used to go to a customer office, take a whiteboard and start presentation. We are expecting that impromptu questions by people, to ask us, so these things are not there. So now I would say the customer engagement did affect, but then I think after March, April, when people realize this is the only way and this is going to continue, I think then the online medium came in the picture. Earlier it was conference calls, but then the video calls came in the picture. After video calls, video conferencing happened in the picture. I believe everybody adapted. Everybody had to adapt it overnight with every tool they have. With iSwap, our customers today, luckily, we are in the business of collaboration and communication. So what iSwap did, we anyway enabled our customers so they could speak to, they could see us, we could see them. So our customer service team was available online. They can see us and they can talk to us. Our prospect customers, where we were pitching in March, we were to closure. We requested them to come online. They used an iSwap tool. So for us, that customer engagement gave a complete different dimension for sales. So customers saw that we have a tool. Oh, we can use this for our purpose also. So that helps us, our sales team, to break the ice, communicate, connect over there, and do that. When it comes to friction, of course, the friction, as I mentioned earlier also, the friction is there because everybody, all the panel members will agree over here that today sales is a function where you meet people. So today, without meeting somebody, you would like to talk to somebody and have a deal done, a sales done. It is not difficult, but yes, it is a challenge because sometimes people are not available, and most important is the network issue. Some people can say, I can't hear you, I didn't understand. And when you're selling more, you're in a passion. You're just talking about, and suddenly some break comes, the camera is off. So typically, you can't demand customers to keep the camera on, right? So you're talking to a black screen, and you're assuming that the guy is understanding, and he's understanding. So these frictions, I would say, are this type of frictions. I would say are a lot when it comes to the engagement part of it. And most important, surprisingly, everybody's busy. So today, everybody is short of time. Earlier, they had time, but now everybody's busy. So the first thing they say, okay, how much time will it take? Half an hour. Okay, done. I have a next call waiting for me. So in a limited time, you got to do a lot of things over here. So this friction is complicated. It is good, bad, everything. So this is there, and I would say, I don't think it can be avoided because that is the way it is. Until we do not have the vaccine, even if we have the vaccine, till people do not feel comfortable, confident, they will never meet. They wouldn't like to meet. They would like to avoid it, and that is it today. Also, the event we have right now is online. Unlike the event which is physically there right now. So this is going to continue, I would say, and we have to live with it, adapt it, and find and evolve ourselves completely to be successful in this entire journey. That's what my feedback is.
Harsha, you're mute.
Mike.
This is very classic. It happens with me all the time. So, very well said, Pramod. I think time has, become all the more very critical as a component, right, in today's time during the crisis. And we've seen the kind of meetings that we used to have with our customers. We used to have a cup of coffee, even connect for that matter, understand the emotions, body language. All that is gravely missing now. Now the meetings are to the point, very, restricted to the topic, and you just want to kind of finish that meeting in 30 minutes and move on to the next one quickly, right? That's how it is, and it's for everyone, I can say that, right? So, I would like to, move on to Sakshi. And Sakshi, would you like to add something here? Sakshi, you're on mute. I'm sorry, I still don't hear you. No.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I think I'll just take this out. So as Pramod rightly mentioned here, that basically the boundaries are diminishing. So I come from a real estate industry, and here we are. Look, we are meeting people, but not very often, because either they have an online meeting there, or in their own work. So it becomes very difficult as a person who's running the business in my organization to even get an appointment from say some CEO or of a developer or somebody like that. So yes, it has become really difficult to catch people nowadays, which I would like to put it. But having said that, I mean, the industry itself is working towards managing multiple stakeholders, because it is not just one product. We are a conglomerate of lot of multiple products here, and it becomes. But we are trying to hold hands with each other and move on and see and understand and focus our energies in the end user wellness, because that is where the final output will be, and then that's where our sales will start turning, and we will start generating more revenues. So we in particular do not do the end user interaction is not there, because we are consultants to say developers or corporates who are then going to be involved with the end users, but we understand their pain point, and we are kind of working with them to understand what are their requirements and what has changed pre-COVID and post-COVID. So I would just wanted to add this point to already what Pramod had said.
Thank you, Sakshi. So, underlining the importance of customer experience in these difficult times. Further, my question is for you, Divya. You come from a company that engages a family as a whole in terms of buying decisions for the future of kids. So what is the framework you have to map customer journey and then find ways where to tweak? And how well the technology plays a role there in mapping this journey?
Thanks, Harsha, for the question. And I think I'm in an industry, education, for which I think it's been a watershed moment as far as the pandemic is concerned. I think India frog leaped fundamentally 10, 20 years into the whole edtech space to match globally what was happening. You know, we've been very stuck with the fact that learning can and can only happen inside brick and mortar rooms, and how overnight the educators, and a big salute to them, stood up in one voice, and despite their limiting constraints and of resources and bandwidths, classes started to happen in India, and schools opened in some form and shape, and learning classes happened. Now, to map I think there are various paths various edtech companies are taking as of today. You know, you see very, very big Indian edtech giants who are looking at huge retail kind of a business, okay, reaching out directly to the parents, taking an ATL, BTL, mapping it out, and then doing. At FlipLearn, we have a very different strategy. Our strategy is to become partners with schools, because in India, education is prescriptive fundamentally by nature. If the school says you're going to study this book, irrespective of 10 books that might be there, the child will study that one book. So our idea is we are partnering with schools and providing the LMS to them, where teachers can take online classes, homework, assessment, students keep coming on the platform and doing. And from there, provide content learning access to students also. Okay. So rather than saying we don't know what the school is doing, just come to me after school and learn from me, I'm saying I'm a partner to the school. I'll help the school to teach you during school hours, and I'll help you extend beyond school hours for your own personalized path. And what has happened, very interestingly, I was in another conversation shortly some time back, which I said this whole pandemic has redefined the economic budgeting of every household in this country now. You know, today every household will now start budgeting for how will my child learn? So do I need a device? Okay. What kind of bandwidth connection do I need? This was not something as a part of the larger middle class India budgeting. But now this has become an absolute category in which you will see budgeting happening for households, for institutions, schools, to understand how, what do teachers have, what do schools have, how do they connect. And I think this has been a very, very pivotal moment of actually bringing all the stakeholders together. So this whole customer mapping journey is very this thing. The first time parents have seen teachers who are teaching their kids. Okay. The first time they're also getting privy to what is really happening. And the first time parents in India have understood how tough it is to manage their own kids for 8 months at their own home. Right. So everybody is braving when will the schools open and when will we send our kids. Right. So there's a lot of empathy in the system. There's a lot of understanding. And while we understand the emotive part of the whole experience, Our idea is to make life easy for the teachers, make life interesting for the children, so that they have a platform where they can do their own thing in their own space, learn at their own pace and time, make their own mistakes, make it safe, do a lot of adrenaline rush, gamified work, etc. And also allow school to carry out all its academic and social activities in terms of interaction, communication, collaboration, etc.
Thank you, Divya, for that great insight. I would like to extend the same question to you, Vikas. Since your organization has up-leveled this customer mapping journey, both nationally and internationally, so what's your take on that?
Yeah, and just as you asked the question, as Providence would have me, somebody's tapping on the wall next to my room. Yeah, so thank you so much for the question, Harsha. I think this whole thing about customer journey is a very interesting phenomenon because it talks about the various levels of engagement at a customer, and the customer could be a student, it could be a traveler, it could be a patient, it could be a subscriber, has with the brand, right? And I think this mapping is important because that is what eventually defines the customer experience, right? If you are able to map the various things that a customer wants. And in today's world, just like Divya said, customer experience is the most defining metrics of success. So from the time you create an awareness for the brand through your social media campaigns or to a face-to-face engagement, till the time you have advocacy where somebody wows and is absolutely thrilled by working with the brand, and the various steps in between, which involves onboarding, which involves acquisition, which involves retention, which involves a whole massive level of engagement. I think it is very critical that the various elements in your business, and they could be finance, and I think Pramod spoke a little bit about that. They could be finance, it could be customer support, it could be operations, it could be sales. At various aspects, all of these things need to come together and deliver one experience, because you may have several departments, but the customer relationship is a single experience. So everybody needs to understand that and do it. And I think it is extremely important because, one, it helps you understand what the customer wants, what the customer really needs, what are his challenges, what are his pain points, so on and so forth. So it helps you to forward engineer and structure your products and services that are able to address that particular pain. It helps you to innovate. And of course, then it also helps you to create ambitions and goals and curate experiences that can keep this customer mapping and this customer experience journey going on for a very, very long time. So that's my absolute view on that one, Harsha.
Thank you, Vikas. I think you touched upon the most important elements of customer experience, which is about personalized, contextualized, and being dynamic at the same time. Since we have touched upon scaling the customer experience matrices internationally, my question to you, Sachin, there's always been a tech gap when it comes to the customer experience at the national and global level. So how can we minimize this gap? Also, we've seen that even though globally the industry is ready to adapt to advanced technologies, do you think the Indian consumers are equally?
Thanks, Harsha, for this question. I think you are right while you are saying that there is a gap between the focus, what Indian companies, have on customer experience vis-a-vis the international counterparts, and more so in terms of adoption of technology. But I think in the last couple of years, and thankfully to this pandemic, because of this, many companies have started to focus on that aspect. Like we are into software development thing, and of late in the last 10 months or so, we have started receiving specific queries from customers wherein they are laying a great emphasis on how to improve the customer journey, whether they are building an app or a software, for their consumers. So they are demanding product designers. So product designers, those who, can map the entire journey of the user right from the, onboarding and till the end point wherein, maybe they pay for a particular service or a product and exit the system. So they want a product designer to map that entire journey and then, add on to the UX and UI elements so that the user experience, because Right now, people are, shying away from going outside. Now, in that scenario, if the application that they are working upon, that gives them the real experience, I think that way they can engage more with the customers and they can retain the customers. So they are laying a lot more emphasis on improving that product design, how to engage the customer through the product itself. And I mean, of course, the service industry, I mean, you talk about hospitality or, other entertainment industry, they were always, pioneering in this customer engagement thing. But now other industries are also adopting the technology, and with the introduction of things like RPA, the robotic process automation, the chatbots, so things have started to, take shape in different other industries as well. And in this pandemic era, I would say the investment towards technology to improve the customer experience has gone up. Yeah, so that is what my take is.
Thank you, Sachin. I'll move to Pramod, and Pramod, I would like to know your views as well on this.
I think I do understand and agree with Sachin, his feedback about he getting inquiries from customers about this to try to emulate this scenario where they would like to also provide a seamless experience or easy experience for customers to come on board. I think from the software development point of view, they are getting these inquiries. From our perspective, from ISOP perspective, ISOP is a company into email collaboration. We provide email collaboration communication platform to all kind of customers, all size of customers, all vertical customers. We are a global company based in Prague, in Czech Republic, and we came in India 5 years back. So 5 years back when we came in India, people still saw a complete presentation. They saw entire demonstration of a product before they bought it. And we always told them, the advanced features about email, communication, collaboration, video call, chat, group collaboration in the sense the teams can work together, exchange information. So they always said, yes, it's a good idea and we will use it. But we have a research which in the last 5 years, the customers bought our services, but they never used it. It was very, very minuscule population of our customers who were using it. We tried a lot of webinars, a lot of education things to customers, do this series of education to them, how can they benefit from this. But then this pandemic brought a complete loads and loads of questions and loads of demand to us overnight, and people started calling us and asking us, hey guys, you sold us this, you sold us that, you sold us this. So how do we use this now? So we were taken back because we had to upgrade our infrastructure overnight. And the closed, the country was closed. So we had to manage a lot of things because we had to upskill our infrastructure to accommodate this demand. So because video calls will suck your bandwidth, it will eat up your bandwidth. So ISWAP as a company, when we saw this demand, we did a lot of enabling of our customers. So I would say from what was always being the norm in the global market was never in India. I will give you a very small example. My first visit to Prague was in 2014. And I went to my office, my headquarters, and I asked somebody for lunch. Hey guy, are you coming for lunch? He said, no, I have a meeting, so I will catch you in the evening for a beer. I said, okay, fine. And I had my lunch, and I came back for my lunch, and I saw the guy sitting over there in the desk. I said, you had a meeting, right? Yeah, I have a meeting. It's there, don't worry, And then I found out it was an online meeting. They had a go-to meeting. They use software go-to meeting. They go online. They have a meeting, and you will be laughing. The meeting was next door. It's the customer. It's just next door. It's not even very far. It's very next door. Still, the culture in Europe is okay. Fine, do it online. And same with the US. If you go to US, the culture of meeting, I think it's more of an Asian tradition. You meet, have a cup of coffee, talk to people. So I think, having said so, we could see that happening immediately, adapted by force, all customers in India, I would say. So today, I would say almost, I would not even say 99.999. I would say every customer of ISWAP today is using today all the functions, collaboration, to the platform, in the collaborating platform, because as Divya mentioned, like, getting all the school, colleges to work together. So you need to collaborate, you need to work together. So you need, as you had a boardroom or a conference room, now you need one room to be there where everybody's there. You're exchanging your views, you're talking, exchanging files, same time looking at the information and trying to give feedback, So that has moved from conference boardroom to now to the laptop, desktop. That's what I would say. And technology, okay, I will give you some more dimension. Apart from email, what we all know, video call, voice call is fine. We could see a change happening in floor shop. We have customers who are into manufacturing. The largest customer in the world who manufacture tubes, this toothpaste tubes, all the whatever tubes, right? They have customers using Iceberg worldwide. So they told us now they would ensure the floor shop is completely, as Sachin mentioned, robotics RPA completely. So never such kind of pandemic can disturb or derail their plans for production or something goes wrong over here. So what I see is, as India, our people from all the caliber or the class used to travel to trade fairs across exhibitions worldwide to get knowledge, to acquire knowledge, to understand what is going on. But they had a hard time to come back to India and convince their management to give the budgets for that, because the company's management never felt the need of it. But today, this is the most important thing. The budgets are coming easily available, made available right now. The budgets are being increased, or I would say reorganized to the right place where it is to be. So I think slowly, India is getting there. India is coming there. We have adapted. Quickly we have adapted, and I think it is the norm. I think in the next 1 year, I believe in the next 1-2 years we would have far in terms of deployment of technology in various industries today, wherever, because all these industries are thriving. They have more of a domestic consumption right now, and they would have to ensure that their supply chain is not disrupted for any reason to cater to the demand that they have to. So I think I would say technology is coming far in India. That's what my take is.
Thank you, Pramod. I'll quickly move on to Sakshi. So Sakshi, you come from an industry where the customers are different from consumers, right? So while there's not much of a direct interaction with your consumer, what role does the technology play in your industry to upkeep their expectations, and how challenging do you think it is in such a controlled environment?
So, I would say that this technology is very different, works very differently in construction industry. It is not related to a particular automation software or something which is like one product centric. As I mentioned earlier, it's like a conglomerate of products. So every product now pre-pandemic, there were AI that we were using in different types of processes, but all that has been accelerated and accelerated exponentially. Because now whether you want to start the construction at the site or now, because during the pandemic the construction was stalled and a lot of human resource was involved in that. So now the companies are also thinking how to use different construction technology, you do prefabrication, but it was done very less in India. So now more and more developers are adapting to prefabrication. Then more and more developers are trying to understand the end user wellness. So wherein we are an organization who design architectural designs for the build to suit formats or any civil products. Like for example, we have to build a commercial space. So initially, like pre-COVID, the requirement used to come from the client that, okay, this is the standard requirement that I want this much floor space area, this much height, this and that. But now, there was so in India, developers are very centric towards achieving the final, like whatever is allowed, we need to achieve the full area which is allowed by the authorities. So how to squeeze every inch out of it. So now all that requirement has completely changed post-COVID, because initially if 75 square feet of space is being used per person and the entire design is designed accordingly, now that has completely doubled to at least 150 square feet per person, which now would lead, like we become the drivers there. how to redesign the entire space or redesign the internal space within the same civil space. So that's where the helping all our clients to revamp their designs or to understand their requirements and how to bring in. So earlier there were things about green technology, how developers are using it, and but now it has become the necessity, the need of the hour. Everybody has to. It is not a luxury anymore, which was thought, okay, green building means more investment initially, but that is not true, because so now things are changing completely, and we are helping and educating also some of our clients who are not very well versed with these technologies, and that's where we come into picture. And even our German studio and studio in the Middle East, all of us are following a process. Internally we discuss the designs, and when we go to the client, it becomes like a full integrated process that we are going to follow. So this is the part where our industry comes into play. And yes, there is a big slowdown because of multiple issues like liquidity and human resource loss. So, but yeah, we are sticking together, and we are trying to kind of mitigate this problem. And hopefully, the real estate industry will bounce back soon. Having said that, actually, residential sector is really seeing an upsurge, because now everybody is working from home, so everybody wants a comfortable house. So within that space, within that same area which was designated earlier, how we can utilize that space in a different manner is the challenge. Yeah.
Thank you, Sakshi, for the great insight from that vertical. Looking at the time that we have, Vikas, I have a question for you. So technology has an inbuilt quotient for creating the wow factor. So how soon do you think can the world adapt and embrace the power of, embrace the power of artificial intelligence at a global level and utilize it at an optimal level, or to an optimal level?
It's a great question. And I think the power of technology, especially AI, in creating wows and customer experience is absolutely unparalleled. I mean, it's already happening. I mean, we don't really need to look really see what's happening. We always feared that, the machines will become smarter, more intelligent, more faster than us. And I think the era is really upon us. Now, predicting something for the future is an errand for the fools, they say. But now let's look at real world examples around us. Emails, right? When you sit and do emails, there are suggestions that are provided based on incoming emails. Your sentences are completed for you at the very simple, basic level. You see this ads about self-parking cars, MG Hector, autonomous cars. You see Alexa, it recognizes your voice commands and does things for you. You have seen very familiar pictures of robots going and checking temperatures and sanitizing people who are entering malls and so on and so forth. All of us have been locked inside the house, and most of us have taken the liberty to see entertainment on Netflix, YouTube, and isn't it more personalized today? Because based on the genre of your music or the movies, don't you get the suggestions about what you are supposed to do? I think it is everywhere. And the most basic example, and Divya is traveling, is Google Maps. And we've been using that for years now. Doesn't it suggest you alternate routes to reach the same place? It's so intelligent, right? And since this is a cricket-loving nation, and I'm a big follower of the game. Anil Kumble has invested in a startup called Spectacom, which actually puts a small sticker on the back of the bat and around how did you hit the ball, the impact, the speed, the twist in the bat, which goes onto the Azure cloud, and there's analysis done, and that's supposed to provide a huge amount of analysis and an eventual experience to the people who view the sport, right? So I think it's a great way in which technology can enhance experience. And how soon can we see that happen? I think that's a very much an ecosystem question. Different communities, different countries have different digital maturities. It really depends upon the suppliers, the skill sets, the availability of resources, devices, the regulations, the connectivity, and so on and so forth. So the Western world, of course, is slightly more advanced. There are more use cases on AI, and hence, they are perhaps a little ahead of the curve. The entire pandemic has accelerated that the entire digital transformation and the use of AI in India, and with 750 million internet users, half of which have been added in the last 4 years itself. I think the era of a truly inspired AI world is upon us, and India is going to embrace that very, very soon. I can't tell you whether it's going to be 1 year or 2 years. It's not in my purview right now.
Thank you, Vikas. I'd like to extend the same question to Divya. Coming from a edutech, industry, what signs do you see of, AI being adopted by the Gen Z students who will eventually be in the driver's seat for this technology tomorrow? Divya, are you there? Okay. Okay, let's move forward. So, ultimately, the goal is to achieve customer delight, and technology has helped the cause by bringing transparency, trust, instant gratification, and reliability. But on the other side, it is also exposed to negative publicity, social trolling, and things like that, right? So how do you weigh this? So probably if I can have 30 seconds from each one of you and your final words here. Maybe we can start with Vikas.
Data privacy is a big topic, and the ability to have secure boundaries around everything that we do is of paramount importance. I think for every one of us, in fact, in our business, security is a very big cornerstone of what we do. And I think we need to, as we embrace more technology, we need to be cognizant of the fact that data cannot be misused. There are certain rules and there are certain do's and don'ts that we need to follow. And to my mind, I think that's something that we need to follow, and we need to be absolutely sacrosanct about it, in my opinion.
Great. Sachin.
Yeah, I think I'll echo the points that Vikas has raised. Security has become paramount in these days because much of data flowing in and out, and especially during this pandemic. So many customers who have not even considered security as one of the key elements in their products, they have been demanding, security. So VAPT testing, which was never demanded by, smaller customers. So vulnerability testing is something which even the smaller customers have started to demand in these days. So I think, yes, the time has changed, and people are laying a lot more emphasis on data security these days. And with GDPR kind of, compliances in place in Europe, as well as, you have similar compliances in US. So I think, yes, security plays an important role, and technology, has a solution to take care of all these things in these days.
Thank you, Sachin. Sakshi, we may hear something from you.
So it's we don't directly use the technology as such for any end user requirement, but yes, our customers, they are actually using the technology to research on what exactly is the requirement, and that requirement more or less is more research based. So here in this industry, we would say that, okay, yes, there are some sensitive data, like if you go to say 99acres.com or any other site for that matter, you go and publish your things. But then again, you have to be very, very cautious about your personal details. So yes, there are filters, and then the industry as such is going forward in doing a very transparent process, yet taking care of the customers. But it is evident that the data is required, and we cannot do without it, I would say. So, but yeah, to just get it, we need to understand the sensitivities of the end consumers also.
Thank you, Sakshi. Pramod.
I would say that most of it said by Vikas and Sachin. I would like to say that The data privacy definitely is the key hot topic due to the regulations in India, which is now being again coming back to the question Harsha you asked about national international, getting power. So data privacy is a hot topic as the government is doing a lot of things for the regulations part of it for that. And I think that is the key aspect and the fundamental right of a person to ensure that his data is not being compromised at any aspect. So as you asked about getting trolled on social media and getting abused about the things, but I think that is something that's beyond our control. If you are on the social media, then you have to accept everything, whatever it is. Applause also at the same time, critics also, as simple as that. But for the corporations, for the companies, organizations today, I think security has been the paramount importance. So companies who were MNCs, companies who were listed companies, banks who were cooperative banks. So there are a lot of regulators who are there who are enforced about the subject. Like RBI has mandated for banks to have something called DMARC. The DMARC is a tool which tells you who is misusing your domain name and your IP address worldwide to send out emails. You may get an email, example, you may get an email from Emirates. It may look the same way the Emirates don't look like, but it's not, it's impossible over there. So these things were there, but like RBI mentioned about this, so banks were not, so the PSU's bank had has gone ahead. Cooperative banks today, there are large cooperative banks in India, many of them, and they are like small banks, So it is still, you will be surprised that is this technology is like a wow. Oh, okay, we will see. So we see a class of companies who are serious, who are exploring, and they would want to have something which is cost effective. Because during pandemic also we saw a lot of companies bought because of ignorance or because of knowledge not being there. They were made to bought by companies, by service providers overnight, something which they found not useful. And now as of today, they found alternatives to that example. So I think this is an important aspect also while deciding on technology, to decide and understand and do a lot of knowledge digging on this, what is right, what is wrong. That is one aspect. Second aspect is very, very important, that data is, like as Sakshi mentioned, that she is not using technology, that is, but she is looking at some private data. But data is everywhere, whether it's WhatsApp, whether it's about email, whether it's about the laptop. So I think this has now picked up in a bigger sense, because suddenly the perimeter of security is no more the office. Earlier the biometric was the first thing. You come to somewhere place, biometric is the first thing, right? You go to in office, when you sit down in office, you can't take a USB drive, example. But suddenly, imagine a BPO. We have customers who the India's biggest BPO company, WNS, is our customer. And overnight they had to ask the employees to take their desktop laptops to go home. And imagine they are having audits by their customers every 3 months about security. Now, where do they do the audits? Because the people are in the office right now. So the whole thought process has changed. Example, Divya today was having people working in the office, but suddenly she has to allow people to go home and work. So her data, so she is worried about data right now, example. So I think this is a very important topic, and there are many solutions to it. It's just the seriousness of the companies and corporations to at least get them equipped, not to the best extent, but at least basic extent, so they do not face any kind of incident where they have to lose money, their brand, or something in the market. So I think it's all about the organization which run the business, and the CIO, CTOs to go and tell them that this is what is important, that they invest the right money and they educate the users. Also, one more thing important, Harsha, I would like to say, implementing technology is good as a management, but do the users, do the employees are aware the do and don'ts? Are the regular knowledge sharing happening? As Sachin mentioned that about the GDPR thing on the things, but are the employees aware? Are the people aware? What are the do and don'ts? So there are simple tools nowadays. Example, you can make a small like a survey, and you send out purposely. You can stimulate. You can simulate some emails and send out to your company employees, and you see how many people have actually clicked on those layers, which they shouldn't have done that. So these things you can come to know the readiness of your of the company. So you may have bought the best of technology, but your employees are not educated and they are not being told about it, and then it's a waste of money. So I think this is the process. I would say the process has started. Adoption over years has happened, But I think it is still a time-consuming process. It's a journey by itself, I would say.
Thank you, Pramod. So to summarize, so technology is here to shape the future, amplifying customer service and creating the opportunity to communicate in new ways in a world of unprecedented connectivity. So digital transformation is forcing companies to change their business models and adapt to the new market reality. What's interesting about this is it's not the companies that are driving this change alone. Instead, this change is being driven by the customers. So today, the customers expect relevant content in relation to what they are doing anytime, anywhere in the format on the device of their choosing. It's their journey that dictates your strategy. And in order to keep up with this new kind of always connected customer, businesses must embrace technology to deliver an unmatched customer experience. So on that note, let me conclude by thanking all of you for your time and valuable insights. Thank you once again. Stay safe and stay connected.
Thank you.
Thank you, Harsha, and thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Stay.
Stay India.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, this was certainly a very interesting discussion. Thank you so much to all the panelists and Ms. Harsha for moderating and conducting the session so well. Inspiring others is the mark of an inspirational business leader. We have some eminent personalities with us today who are an inspiration to everyone in their respective industries. Business leaders are actually custodians of their brands, and today we are here to celebrate and honor inspirational business leaders who have led from the front to elevate their brands to the status of being inspirational leaders in India. Without further ado, let's begin with the Selected Inspirational 2020 Leaders Award. The first award for Inspirational Business Leader 2020 goes to none other than the very talented and the very versatile Miss Ekta Kapoor. Ekta started her career when she was just 18 years young as Joint Managing Director and Creative Director of Balaji Telefilms Limited. Mr. Nikhil Mohan abdicated his operating roles and now is the director at Mohan Clothing Private Limited. He navigates the organization and business transformation at the House of Blackberries. Mr. Nitin Mohan is the founder and director of India's prime men's fashion brand Blackberries. He has over 25 years of experience in the world of men's fashion. And the next award goes to Mr. Arvind Goyal, Managing Director and CEO, Tata Autocomp Systems. Under his able leadership, Tata Autocomp has entered into 6 new joint ventures, 2 technological agreements and acquired Titan X. Crayon software expert, Mr. Vikas' abilities to work with the organizations whose foundation is based on their values is what separates him from the crowd. And at the same time, he delivers the business forecast, commitments, and has the potential to spark new business opportunities. The next award goes to Mr. Yogesh Agarwal, an innovator, a technologist, an entrepreneur, and CEO. He is the founder and CEO of Daffodil Softwares. Being a coding enthusiast, he started coding at the age of 16. Mr. Hadi Tehrani is a mentor, an entrepreneur, a designer, and a distinguished architect. He has no boundaries when it comes to designing and building because he knows that even in the tiniest room speaks a lot about the entire building. Congratulations, sir. The next award for the Inspirational Leader of India 2020 goes to Mr. Pramod Sharda. He is a passionate professional, skilled with proven adaptability and innovation, leveraging the industry and best IT practices. Harsha Solanki is a proficient professional with experience of over 16 years in the industry. She is the Managing Director at Infobip. She supervises Infobip India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh and Nepal. Her work at Infobip is noteworthy. The next award for the Inspirational Leader India 2020 goes to Mr. Mandeep Singh, JSL Lifestyle. He is a C-level executive with an expertise of 28 years and is the Chief Executive Officer and Executive Director at JSL Lifestyle Limited. The next award for the Inspirational Leader India 2020 goes to none other than Mr. Alok Kumar, NEC Technologies. He is the CEO and President at NEC Technologies India Private Limited. The next award for the Inspirational Leader of India 2020 goes to Mr. Sameer Modi, Founder and Managing Director, Modi Care, an alumnus of the Harvard Business School. He is an entrepreneur constantly surviving and strives to bring new and radical ideas to life. The next award for the Inspirational Leader of India 2020 goes to Mr. Sankey Prasad. With over 35 years of real estate experience, Mr. Sankey Prasad has played an instrumental role in delivering numerous landmark real estate projects across India, UK, Africa and Middle East. The next award for the Inspirational Leader of India 2020 goes to Mr. M.K. Mahesh Kumar, TVS Auto Assist. Mr. Mahesh Kumar is the CEO of TVS Auto Assist India Limited. The next award goes to Mr. Ashok Chaturvedi. Mr. Ashok Chaturvedi is the Chairman and Managing Director of UFlex Limited. The foundation of customer relationship is the 3 Qs: quality, quantity and quickness, which Ashok has promised to his customers and has implanted in the organization's culture, being an influential leader that he is. The next award goes to Mr. Ashwini Kumar Sharma. Mr. Ashwini Kumar Sharma is the President and CEO of Liquid Packaging Business, UFlex Limited. Mr. Ashwini Kumar Sharma is a seasoned professional with an expertise of 28 years in paper and packaging. The next award goes to Mr. K.E. Ranganathan, Managing Director of Roka Bathroom Products. He is a profound professional with an expertise of more than 35 years in finance, accounting, business planning and strategy, marketing and sales. The next award goes to Mr. Atul Raja, Chairman of the Phoenix Mills Limited, one of the leading retail estate companies in India. Mr. Atul Raja was born to be a prodigy in the Indian retail industry. Under his leadership, Phoenix Mills Limited grew into leading real estate companies in India. The next award goes to Mr. Abhishek Somani, the Chairman and Managing Director of Somani Ceramics. Congratulations, sir. Moving on, the next awardee we have on board with us is Mr. Sandeep Dalmia, co-founder of Stanza Living, an entrepreneur and a tech enthusiast. He has an MBA from IIM Ahmedabad and also holds a degree in computer engineering from Delhi College of Engineering. Congratulations, sir. The next award for the Inspirational Leader of India 2020 goes to Mr. Anandya Datta, the co-founder of Stanza Living, having global expertise in real estate. Post his stint with Oak Tree Capital in London, he returned to India and co-founded Stanza Living with his friend Sandeep Dalmia. The next award for the Inspirational Leader of India 2020 goes to Mr. Nachiket Pantvedya. He is the Group Chief Operating Officer and CEO of Alt Balaji. He is a distinguished leader of the Indian entertainment industry. The next award goes to Mr. Abhishek Goyal, an entrepreneur, a meditator, and most importantly, he is a visionary who redefines scholarly communications. He is the CEO and co-founder of Cactus Communications. The next award goes to Mr. Mohit Nirula, the Chief Executive Officer of the Columbia Pacific Communities. Mr. Nirula's ability to evolve by brainstorming new ideas and at the same time maintaining a balance by focusing on the goal and the method is rare. The next award for the Inspirational Leader 2020 goes to Dr. Amit Bhatnagar, Dr. Amit Bhatnagar is the Country General Manager and Director for Cooper Surgical India, leading the fertility and genomics business for India and neighbouring countries. Next award goes to Mr. Divya Lal, the Managing Director of FlipLearn. Being a Managing Director at FlipLearn has given Divya an opportunity to build a platform that can provide quality education at economical expense. The next award for the Inspirational Leader of India 2020 goes to Mr. Varun Alagh. Varun Alagh is the co-founder and chief dad of Mama Earth. His understanding and experience of the FMCG market has allowed him to develop, distribute and market Mama Earth's 100% toxin-free products. An artist, an entrepreneur, a corporate trainer and a great mompreneur. She is none other than the very talented, the very versatile Ghazal Alagh, the co-founder and chief mama of Mama Earth. Her prime objective is to provide everyone with toxin-free, made, safe, certified products so this world can be a better and a safer place. Non-toxin products benefit us in the long run to sustain a balanced lifestyle. The next award goes to Mr. Gurmukh Rupra, the Chief Executive Officer of Namdhari Seeds Private Limited. He aims at building a concrete foothold in Bangalore and then expanding to the various cities of South India. The next award goes to Mr. Mohit Goyal, CEO of Omex Limited, one of leading real estate firms in India. He is a second-generation entrepreneur who has his sharp business that has influenced the structural changes that led to the turning point for his company when the real estate sector had no. The next award goes to Ms. Akanksha Bhargav, CEO of PM Relocations, a CEO, a mother, a writer, blogger, a motivational and influential speaker. She is a strong supporter of women and young minds and wants to make this world a better place by sharing her stories. Congratulations, ma'am. The next award goes to Ms. Sarita Singh, an entrepreneur, a teacher, a leader, an educationist and a CEO. She is none other than Ms. Sarita Singh, the CEO of Priyadarshini Schools. She has always been very passionate about the development of the school and providing quality education. The next award for the Inspirational Leader of India 2020 goes to Mr. Vikram Khanna, the CEO of Consumer Gas and CIO. He is an experienced professional in the field of P&L, ownership of business, B2B and B2C in manufacturing, to retail segments of the glass industry for automotive, in architectural and industrial space. Congratulations to our next awardee, Mr. Ashish Agarwal, the CEO of Radiant Infonet, a marketing savant and business development enthusiast. The next award for the Inspirational Leader goes to Ms. Shalini Natraj. Ms. Natraj is Global Head Human Resources. She oversees the HR department across India, China and Philippines. The next award goes to Mr. Navneet Kapoor, the Chief Technology and Information Officer and a member of the executive leadership team at AP Moller Merck. From retail to finance, from manufacturing and engineering to building e-commerce platform and differentiating capabilities in data, technology and automation, along with leading global organization, he has more than 20 years of experience in his career. The next award goes to Mr. Arush Gupta, Director and CEO Okaya Power Group. Mr. Arush joined the OPG Group at the young age of 23 and has been taking care of brand Okaya since then. Congratulations to our next awardee, Mr. Adish Duggal, the Chief Creative Officer and co-founder of Amplify Media LLP. Adish always focuses on providing with quality content. He will provide you with high quality work that fits for your company. Congratulations to our next awardee, Ms. Avlokita Dayal, the Chief Marketing Officer and co-founder of Amplify Media. She is a boss lady, totally creative and her experience for more than 10 years in brand strategy and marketing has helped Amplify to grow multifold. Congratulations to our next awardee, Mr. Akshat Malik. Mr. Akshat Malik has been revolutionizing and enhancing pharma industry by reshaping derma and nutraceutical online business. And the next award goes to Mr. Pankaj Varmani, a serial entrepreneur, CEO and founder of Clovia Lingerie. He actively participates in mentoring and advising budding entrepreneurs, industry personnel, and startups on the internet. Our next award goes to Mr. Gaurav Zatakia, the maestro in the world of mattresses, an entrepreneur, currently the co-founder and CEO of Flow Mattresses. The next award for the Inspirational Leader goes to Mr. Kshitij Rihal. Mr. Kshitij co-founded Flow Mattresses along with his friend in 2018. The next award goes to Mr. Mahesh Shashadri. Mr. Shashadri is the co-founder and director of the Human Alpha Strategic Solution Private Limited, a seasoned professional with an experience of more than 20 years. The co-founder and managing director of the Human Alpha Strategic Solution Private Limited. Having managed large teams and a workforce of 1500 plus, she is very sensitive to the challenges in the organizations in strategic planning and execution from the leadership point of view and importance of alignment from the employee point of view. The next award for the Inspirational Leader of India 2020 goes to Mr. Harish Closepet, the Chief Executive Officer and the co-founder of Itsy Bitsy, one of India's leading scrapbooking and craft retailers. Congratulations to our next awardee, Ms. Rashmi Closepet, the co-founder and director of Itsy Bitsy and Little Birdie Crafts. She, being a woman and entrepreneur, understands the value of empowering women. The next award goes to Mr. Dev Batra, the co-founder and chief evangelist of Lixel Labs. He's detail-oriented and an innovative perfectionist. His ideas and understanding stand him apart from the general league. He's always full of energy and a great multitasker. Congratulations to our next inspirational leader, Mr. Adarsh, the co-founder of Parallel 23. He has massive experience in the area of brand, communications and branding like Equity International. The next award goes to Mr. Sundar Raman Tyagarajan. Mr. Tyagarajan is the National Sales and Marketing Head of MK Agrotech Private Limited. His proficiency lies in both food and non-foods personal care category with his keen focus in fast-moving consumer goods. And the next award for being the most inspirational leader of India 2020 goes to Mr. Ishant Singh Bedi, a leader, an entrepreneur and a visionary, the director of Synchronized Supply Systems Limited. Congratulations to our next inspirational leader of India 2020, Mr. Chandresh Kothari, co-founder Explore. The next award goes to Mr. Krishna Randar, co-founder Explore. Congratulations to our next awardee for being the most inspirational leader of India 2020, and it goes to Mr. Anil Lala, the founder and managing director of Fansart. The next award for the most inspirational leader of India 2020 goes to Ms. Satya Badlamani, the chairperson and managing director, Murli Krishna Pharma, the chief promoter of Murli Krishna Pharma. She holds a degree in electrical and electronics engineering. Congratulations to our next inspirational leader of India 2020, Mr. Avinash Singh Visen, the CEO of Encraft, and an experience in UPVC fenestration industry. Avinash has taken Encraft to heights and made one of the top brands in the UPVC industry. And the next award goes to Ms. Kirandeep Kaur, CEO KD Financial Services. Heartiest congratulations, ma'am, and keep up the good work. Moving on, the next one topping the list is founder and CEO Wisdom Capital, Mr. Deb Mukherjee. Congratulations, sir. Next, we'd like to congratulate Ms. Shivangi Mittal, CEO, The Natural Wash. Next, we would like to congratulate Mr. Akshat Goyal, Director, The Natural Wash. Mr. Sahil Mehta founded the premium nature and science-inspired healthcare and cosmetics brand Saint Botanica in the year 2007. His exquisite leadership has turned Saint Botanica into one of the leading wellness brands not only in India but also across the globe, and today is trusted by millions of customers both in India and overseas. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this was our first set of awards. Congratulations to all the winners of the 2020 edition. I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Alok Kumar from NEC Technologies, the CEO and President at NEC Corporation India. Alok's illustrious career spans over 26 years, wherein he has provided strategic direction to globally renowned brands in India and international market including Japan, APAC and EMEA. Alok's journey with NEC began in March 2020 as he took up to the mantle as the President and CEO at NEC Corporation India, a subsidiary of NEC Corporation Japan. He is responsible for leading and expanding NEC India's business offerings in India and global market. As an accomplished leader, he is known for his management style and holds a stellar record in driving market share growth by creating new market opportunities. I would request Mr. Alok to please come on. I would request Mr. Alok to please join us on screen.
Respected industry peers and friends, thank you for your time and to give us an opportunity to talk to you today. My name is Alok Kumar and I am the President and CEO for NEC Corporation India. Orchestrating a brighter world. At NEC, this is not simply a tagline that goes as fine prints under the big logo. For us, this is the mission statement that puts our personal lives in complete harmony with what we do in our professional life. This is what motivates us at NEC to help create a better world for today and tomorrow. A world that is safe, secure, fair, and equal. Next time you walk into the airport to take a flight, and we hope that is soon, imagine not having to touch anything, not a paper, not visiting the check-in counters or the kiosks, not having to flash a boarding pass. At NEC, we enable the technology that makes paperless and touchless boarding possible. Deploying the world's most advanced facial technology platform, we power paperless boarding across many airports around the world. And as we speak, we are working on making this come alive at multiple airports in India. At NEC, we provide solutions for society that promote safety, security, fairness, and above all, provides a chance for everyone to be equal through digital inclusion. Through the last 70 years of our presence in India, NEC has worked tirelessly to build solutions that lift the productivity of our society by deploying technology at places that really matter. 2 months back, we completed the first ever underwater submarine cable project connecting the far-flung and remote Andaman and Nicobar Islands to mainland India through Chennai. At NEC, this is not about providing data connectivity. It is not about providing hundreds of terabytes of data at fast speed. It is about empowering 4.5 lakh islanders with information that can bring better education, better healthcare, better social welfare, and above all, lift the social productivity and in turn, the potential to earn income for the natives. This is exactly what you should expect from one of the world leaders in submarine cabling. Over the years, we have deployed submarine cables that can go around the world 7.5 times. This is the story of how a 100-year-old company with more than 49,000 patents deploys its assets to the benefit of the larger society. At NEC India, we partner with the government for many smart city projects. Deploying surveillance solution in Surat, we help bring down the crime rate by more than 27%. During the past very difficult 6 months, we have helped institutions like Gurgaon Metropolitan Development Authority and Kalyan Dombivli Municipal Corporation, to name a few, build war rooms to track COVID infections and create a methodical decision trees assisted with data. We have set up command and control center in multiple cities to enable faster response to civilian services. We are collaborating with many city administrations to improve the mass transportation solutions. Applications like paperless ticketing and on-tip bus tracking. We are reducing wait time at bus stops, making bus congestions leaner, and helping better planning for peak times. We at NEC are committed to helping improve the productivity loss in commuting. Right deployment of technology can truly impact social lives. It can also improve the fundamental infrastructure and its performance. As one of the first players in deploying track and trace technology in logistics, NEC India has accelerated the productivity of the archaic and fragmented logistics sector. Today, more than 27 million export-import containers go through NEC platform, helping us to visualize congestions, container idle inventory, and many other benefits. The rich data bank will help create an Uber containerization solution in India, one of the first in this part of the world. Not to say asset tracking can help create heat maps on congestions that can in turn help plan better highways, better networks, driver rest areas that will further reduce highway accidents. More than 6,000 technology professionals in the field of telecommunications, smart city, logistics, transportation, submarine, retail, finance are deploying high-tech solutions every day at NEC India using artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain, RPA, facial recognition, biometrics. We do that every day with one mission: to accelerate the digital revolution that India has unleashed across the world. At NEC, we seek to transform the lives of every Indian by deploying this power of technology. I want to take a moment to thank our employees and our partners to help realize our dream every day. Today, I want to take a moment to thank each one of you for carrying a part of NEC in your pocket, in your homes, and amongst your loved ones. Intrigued? I thought so. At NEC India, we powered the world's largest multimodal biometric database, what you commonly known as the Aadhaar Card program. Aadhaar Card, or the unique identification number, is not just a number for NEC. It is a voice to many Indians who could never be heard. It is about providing empowerment to many for what is their right. And it is about providing courage to millions of Indians to dream, to get ahead in life. At NEC, when we say we are orchestrating a brighter world, we really mean it. Thank you for your time to listen in.
Our next speaker is Ms. Divya Lal from FlipLearn. She is the Managing Director of FlipLearn. She has captivating leadership skills and is a visionary in all sense. She is also a TEDx speaker and has an experience of over 19 years in the field of education. Her dedication towards improving the Indian education system is remarkable. She created a system that can recognize the students' need and will provide a tailor-made content, a system that is connected to parents and the schools. I would request Ms. Divya to please join us on screen.
Hi, my name is Divya and I'm the founder at fliplearn.com. We are an online learning platform currently working with more than 200,000 students across some 200 schools. I think how this moment and how this pandemic has become a watershed moment for the Indian economy is something that we are all going to see. This is the moment that will redefine not only how India learns, but also how Indian institutions are going to get budgeted, and so does it stand for the Indian households. I think now being online ready for education of your child is going to be an intrinsic part of budgeting, whether it is going to be the schools, colleges, or every home in this country. We welcome this, and we can already see how strong this segment is emerging. You can see some of the most iconic sporting events being completely outsponsored by edtech players. So I think it is an industry which is only growing stronger and bigger, and it's also the pivotal piece that will define how India is learning and will continue to thrive in this space in the world.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Our next speaker is Mr. Vikas Bhosle, the Chief Executive Officer of Crayon Software Experts in India. He has been leading Crayon Software Experts all over India since June 2014. His association with Crayon, the global leader in software asset management, cloud and volume licensing, has been a strengthening one, with the company growing deeper roots in the country with new collaborations, investments, mergers and acquisitions. He is a strong advocate of transparency, working productively, and is a major contributor to the company's visibility in the country. I'd request Mr. Vikas to please join us on screen.
Sure.
Hi, my name is Vikas Bhosle. I am the CEO of Crayon Software Experts India Private Limited. Crayon is a Norwegian firm, and we are global digital transformation experts. When I was approached by the White Page leadership team and I was asked to speak on a subject of my choice, I was wondering what I should speak about. Digital transformation has been spoken about in every other seminar and forum. It's been beaten black and blue. We've spoken about technology. So I was thinking what will interest my audience. And I thought I'll speak about Crayon, which obviously means that how has Crayon fared in the last few months during the pandemic. It would not be right for me to say that we thrived, because I've seen businesses flounder. I've seen my partners go under. I've seen employees lose their jobs. I've seen that people have struggled to make ends meet. Some of my colleagues have got infected by the virus. A few of them theatered on the edge and came back safely. And sadly, a few of my colleagues also less than dear ones. In this kind of a circumstances, it may be inappropriate to say that we thrived. So I will only say that we were able to keep our head above water and we survived. And my next few minutes are narrative about what we really did. Now, of course, this is not a template for success, but this is a collection of my thought, which I hope you will find it relevant, and that's exactly my endeavor. Okay, so when the pandemic struck in March, we had the Janta curfew and then it was followed by the lockdown phase 1. Everyone was anxious. I had no clue. Like any other leader on this globe, I didn't know what my business could expect from this pandemic. What about my partners? What about my people? What about their families? It was a very, very difficult phase. When I looked at my employees, they were very anxious. They had concerns. They had fears. They had security of their jobs at risk. The first thing that I wanted to really do was alleviate their fears about the job. And that's what I did. I did the first communication with my employees and I said, irrespective of what happens in the external environment, you will not lose your job. We will not have a pay cut. It may have seemed at a point in time that it was a statement of false bravado, but it was not. Because I had confidence in our business model and I had confidence in the people who were leading that business. So I went and I said, your job security is always going to be assured in Crayon. It was also important that we take a posture. My communication should lend to a posture that we will take in the marketplace. We did not want to be over optimistic. We did not want to be under optimistic, or let me say over pessimistic. So I didn't want to go and say, oh, it's the end of the world because it's COVID. Or I didn't want to say, irrespective of what happens, we are going to be successful. So we clearly calibrated around some of the things we saw in the market. What are the forces? What is it that we can align and do better? And when I looked at what customers and partners were wanting, and I looked at my business model, I thought that if we could execute well, we would be successful. So our posturing always was, if we execute well, we will be successful. At no point in time were we pessimistic. We were realistically optimistic. That also meant that we needed to have fundamental belief in our model, our core business model. And like I said before, when pandemic struck, everybody said that digital transformation journeys for our customers will be accelerated. And we are exactly in that business. We are in the business of assessment. We are in the business of migration, of governance, of adoption of different technologies in the cloud. And we believed that with this business model, we would be successful. And we fundamentally stuck on our core business fundamental. And we said, irrespective of what happens in the marketplace, we will go and execute well. It also meant that while we spoke about our business fundamental being strong, we needed to be a little different. We needed to transform internally. So to bring razor focus to what we did, we bifurcated our business. So we created a coverage organization that was going and meeting customers and partners, and we created a services and a solutions organization. We got talent from our side. We did not stop recruiting. We got talent on services, we got talent on multi-cloud strategy, we got talent on OEMs, we got talent on blockchain, on security, and so on and so forth. And we created a very robust transformation organization. Then we also saw, what is it that we are addressing? So we have about 1,000 plus customers, a few thousand partners. Can we serve all of them? Probably yes. But then we said, some of these customers and some of these businesses across some of these verticals are not going to do well. It does not pay well for us to spend our time addressing those customer needs. So we optimized. We optimized from about 1,000 plus customers to about 500 customers who we believed can give us great returns. We also went in with a belief which said, yes, we can go and acquire new customers because we had a transformation organization, we could acquire new customers. But we said, given the kind of bouquet of services we had, it would be easy for us to sell deeper than to acquire new customers. And we stuck with that belief. We went in with 500 customers. We did a lot of things that enabled deep selling with our customers, and we were successful. Cash is king is something that we've heard right through the entire journey in the last 8 months. And that's true. So when this pandemic struck us in March, I went to my CFO and said, we need to have an absolute critical view of our cash position in the next 6 months to a year. So we created a 6-month cash out template, so to say. We took an ultra pessimistic view of our business, of our profitability, of our ability to collect cash, and then we mapped it around what are the outflows that need to go out, and we continuously looked at our 6-month cash flow position. That was a guide for us to say where we should be investing, what is it that we must go after, where we should cut costs, and that guiding document helped us. Even as I speak to you today, that's a document which is live, and we are constantly guided by all the various vectors which are there in the template, which gives me an absolute view of my cash flow cycle. Last but not the least, human enterprise, right? And when I talk about human enterprise, I'm covering both the vectors of our customers and our employees. Whether it's a customer, it's a partner, it's a supplier, it's an OEM employees, we are all human beings. Very important at the stage in this pandemic to have empathy towards human beings. So there were customers, a lot of our customers just did not know how to embrace this entire work from home thing. They didn't have the collaboration tools. They didn't have the software that enabled them to do so. They didn't have the budgets. Some of them said, I need help, can you do it? So we created environments where you could go and host virtual desktops. We did our free demos, we did free assessments, we did free migrations, we gave tools which gave access to trainings for 6 months, and we gave it out to our customers. Some of our customers said, my business is not doing well, can you give me extended terms? It could be 60 days, 90 days, sometimes extended terms. And we worked with our OEMs and we gave those extended terms. We are not a bank, we were ourselves under stress. But given the fact that we were slightly better than they, we said, why not help them? And we went out of our way to go and help them. And they were very, very appreciative of this. And of course, finally, it's all about our employees. And I think that was one piece of the entire business we did very well. So like I said, very early in the piece, we went and spoke about job security. I also went ahead and I gave them a 6 monthly hike. We actually gave them a hike after making sure that our cash flow is well protected. Okay, we reached out one-on-one to every single employee in Crayon to ask them how are they doing, how is their family, how is their well-being. It was extremely important for us that they are happy, that they are not anxious, that they are not having a lot of concerns and worries, because if they are worried, our business cannot do well. And so we reached out to them. We cared and we invested in their mental well-being. We invested in increasing the insurance for them. We increased engagement, we increased communication, and a plethora of things that went, and we made sure that all the entire workforce in Crayon was extremely motivated when they came to work. Of getting the burden of the job, or let me say the monkey of not having a job off the back, they all worked with great amount and a great sense of purpose to make Crayon successful. And our success today rides on all the work that the employees have done for us. So my hats off to them. So as I come to conclude my speech, it's been a very tough year. Yeah, we've gone through a lot of stress, to a lot of strife. We emerged successful, but we also emerged with life-changing lessons. The next few months and possibly even the next few years are going to be game changers for us. And as long as we can embrace the attitude that we have displayed in the last 8 months, I think we will continue to be successful always. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Taking this evening ahead, I'd like to invite on screen Mr. Yogesh Agarwal, an innovator, a technologist, an entrepreneur, and a CEO. He is none other than Mr. Yogesh Agarwal. His work at Daffodil is noteworthy. His out-of-the-box thinking reflects in the operations at Daffodil. He is known for adopting state-of-the-art and innovative technologies at an early stage. He oversees strategy and process planning at the organization, which has driven his organization to the success that it is today. I would request Mr. Yogesh to join us on screen.
Hello everyone. It's a pleasure to be part of this conclave. Thank you for this opportunity. I am Yogesh Agarwal, CEO Daffodil Software. Daffodil Software was established in 1999 with a simple ideology to find innovative solutions to complex and large problems. We want to play a significant role in delivering progressive software solutions for our clients that help them to scale their business. Today, Daffodil Software is a technology partner to 100 plus organizations across the globe. With our roots into innovation, tech agility, and time-proven processes, our team of 800 plus people help our customer elevate their value proposition through technology. We take pride in our ability to look beyond technologies and deliver innovative solutions. At the core of Daffodil lies a growth-oriented culture and set of impeccable values that define and guide us in this journey to perfection. A testament to this fact is that our customers tend to stay with us for a very, very long time. They treat our employee as part of their extended family, and they include them in all the celebrations that they have at their end whenever they reach to a milestone. Recently, we also have been certified as Great Place to Work by GPTW organization. As a brand, we believe that we are equally responsible for success of our customers, which is why we consider them as our partners. We pass on best practices that we have learned over a year of experience to our customer by working on their solution and help them to have an edge over their competition. Over the past 20 years, we have established a strong position in software development domain. We have worked with some of the most innovative startups and established Fortune 500 brands globally. More recently, we have also been trusted by Reserve Bank of India for a very complex artificial intelligence-based mobile app for blinds, which have received pretty well by the end users. We have also been trusted by National E-Governance Division for maintenance of Umang app, which is key part of our government's Digital India vision. We have dedicated research and development lab, which help us continuously evaluate and adopt emerging technologies. This provides our client with a strategic advantage for the challenges that require breakthrough solutions. We also have built custom code libraries which are decoupled, usable, stable, and thoroughly tested that help us to build solution at 2x speed, which are more robust and also more usable. And we have segregated this service under a different brand which we call Unthinkable Software. Through this brand, we are helping our customers to reach market faster, to evolve their solution at 2x speed, and overall help them to take a distinctive edge over their competition. Again, in the end, I want to thank you for giving us this opportunity. I hope that everyone enjoys this conclave.
Thank you so much, sir.